What if I told you that sometimes the ones who look the most broken end up healing us in ways we never expected? Tonight, I want to take you into the story of a young girl who met a dog unlike any other. At first, she thought she was rescuing him, but what he did when she stretched out her hand left everyone around speechless. Stay with me until the end, because this story will remind you of something powerful, that love and trust can rebuild even the deepest wounds. Emily was 12 years old when her world changed. She had always been a quiet girl, the type who preferred sketching in her notebook instead of running around with the others. Life hadn't been easy for her. Only a year before, she had lost her father to a sudden illness, and the silence that filled her home afterward seemed louder than any noise. Her mother worked long hours just to keep everything together, and Emily often found herself sitting alone, feeling like a piece of her had gone missing forever. One Saturday afternoon, her mother surprised her with a trip to the local animal shelter. Emily had always wanted a dog, someone to keep her company when the loneliness became too heavy. "Maybe a new friend will help," her mom said softly. The shelter was noisy with barking, the echo of claws scratching metal cages. Emily's eyes scanned the rows of dogs, some wagging eagerly, others cowering in the corners. And then she saw him. A large, scarred German shepherd sat at the back of his cage, his amber eyes piercing through the bars. He didn't bark, didn't move, he just stared. There was something haunting in his gaze, like he had lived through storms no one could imagine. The shelter worker warned, "That's Rex. He's been through a lot. Previous owners didn't treat him kindly. He doesn't trust people easily." But Emily felt drawn to him. Her small fingers clutched the bars as she whispered, "Hi." For a long moment, Rex didn't react. Then, slowly, Emily opened the cage door and crouched, extending her trembling hand toward him. The room went silent. Even the worker held her breath. Everyone expected the dog to retreat, maybe even snap. But Rex didn't do either. He leaned forward, sniffed her hand, and then, to everyone's shock, he pressed his massive head gently against her palm. Emily's eyes widened as tears filled them. For the first time since her father's death, she felt warmth spread through her chest. That was the moment their bond began. A broken girl and a broken dog, reaching for each other in silence. Bringing Rex home wasn't easy. He was cautious, sometimes flinching at sudden movements. Loud noises made him cower, and he refused to eat unless Emily sat close by. Neighbors whispered that such a dog could never be safe, that scars like his didn't fade. But Emily refused to give up. Every day after school, she sat beside him on the floor, reading her favorite stories aloud. She drew pictures of him in her notebook, sometimes leaving the pages where he could sniff them. She talked to him about her dad, about the emptiness in her heart. And slowly, Rex began to change. One rainy night, thunder cracked across the sky. Emily, half asleep in her room, woke to Rex whining and scratching at her door. He was terrified. Without thinking, she opened her arms. The once fearful dog leapt onto her bed and buried his face against her chest, trembling. Emily held him tightly, whispering, "It's okay, I've got you." From that night on, something shifted. Rex no longer followed her just out of fear. He stayed by her side out of trust. The real test came a month later. Emily was walking Rex in the park when a sudden shout rang out. A ball bounced across the path, and a young boy ran after it, straight into the street where a car was speeding toward him. Before Emily could scream, Rex bolted. His powerful body knocked the boy backward, just out of the car's path. Tires screeched. People gasped. When it was over, Rex stood in front of the boy, chest heaving, eyes alert, not as a broken animal, but as a protector. Emily's tears fell freely as she realized the truth. The dog everyone thought was too damaged had just saved a life. The crowd surrounded them, clapping, cheering. The same neighbors who once doubted Rex now looked at him with awe. Emily knelt, wrapping her arms around his neck, whispering through her sobs, "You're not broken, Rex. You're brave, and you're mine." From that day on, Rex was no longer just her dog. He was her partner, her family, the guardian who had rescued her heart as much as she had rescued his. So what's the lesson here? Sometimes the ones who seem the hardest to love are the ones who need it most. Emily extended her hand to a wounded soul, and in return, Rex gave her courage, protection, and hope. Trust takes time, healing takes patience, but when love steps in, miracles happen. And maybe, just maybe, this story is a reminder for us all. Never give up on someone just because they carry scars. You might be the hand that finally teaches them how to heal.